So this seemed inevitable to end the way that it did. But before we get there, this was a PLE, I would argue, a WrestleMania quality main event. And it kind of bums me out that we got it on an episode of Raw, because I think this was a match that we had been really looking forward to, like I said before, like for the past year and a half, basically since Punk returned and Seth Rollins had a conniption. And we were like, okay, cool. This is a dream match that we always wanted to see, and we're finally going to be able to get it. We had to wait a year to get it, and it happened at the debut or the premiere of Netflix, which I still hate that it happened then. But this was a great second match, I guess, between them. And I don't really have any notes. Like, this was good from beginning to end.
That was
Honestly,
fantastic.
it was so good.
Everything, the little details of both of them opening the cage door, saying, "You can leave whenever you want to go. Let's go. You can
Mm-hmm.
leave, but we're fighting." That was a nice little detail. Both flip each other off, the birds, and then Netflix doing the old black screen on
Mm-hmm.
us. Like, it's stuff like that that make you that much more invested and can only be done by those guys. The hatred that they have, the way they've
Mm-hmm.
been building up this hatred. They said it started with the Shield, it started before that.
Yeah.
Seriously. And that's what made it an intense steel cage match. I will bring up Revolution right now because they had a steel cage match over the weekend, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people would say, "Oh, too gory. I didn't like the blood and all that." Well, it made sense for what they're doing, and they're not on WWE, so it's a glorified ECW at this point. WWE put on a steel cage match that was well done from a wrestling sports entertainment standpoint. You don't need the blood in there. You needed the hatred of those two guys to use the cage as a weapon. You don't need to bleed. You just use it to your advantage. You're locking these two Tasmanian devils who with hatred in their heart up in a cage so they can duke it out and get all this hatred that they have out against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it very well. They gave you a reason to keep watching, and the stuff that they did. We had a super Spanish fly from AEW, but a superplex off the cage just as sufficed for this. It was that equal of a moment because it was that epic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a fan.
Yeah, I think it did what it needed to do. I also feel like at the same time, it left it open still to continue. Like, if they were to do a third match, I don't think people would be like, "Oh, we already seen this, been there, done that. I don't care to see it again." I feel like they could definitely do something again, and we would still be like just as interested. Similar to Seth and Cody, we got the trilogy out of them. I feel like we could see a trilogy out of Seth and Punk, and no one would be upset about that.